Alrighty. Hey, fellow artists. Welcome to the 10th Psycheopera Creators Live, where I showcase fellow builders of musical instruments and their work. Whether it's rustic cigar box guitars, traditional flutes, trash bin percussion. Oh, itchy nose, itchy nose. Always happens during a stream. Synthesizers, software instruments, DIY MIDI controllers, or classical guitars made by master luthiers. If it's made by humans, then I want to talk about it. Today, we are recapping with Mike Mountain Hawk Gourley, who has been working on a secret project for about a month or so. So, Mike is now ready to unveil his great creation, which was built with one of my laser-carved cigar boxes, by the way. Little bit of a shameless plug there. Contact me if you want one. Anyways, without any further ado, I present to you Mike Gourley's secret build. Here we go.
What you're looking at is an old sitar that I bought off of eBay a few years back, and didn't really play very well. You could maybe play a major scale, but yeah, it just wasn't very good. And it's been sitting in a bag for a long time, and as you can see, I've dismantled it. Probably should have started the video before I did that. But anyway, I have taken all the pieces, most of the pieces off, the bridge, the frets. So anyway, what I'm going to do is try to make a cigar box sitar. Okay, here we are. It's July 10th. Been working somewhat on the neck here. Doing a little cutting, doing a little sanding. Right there is where this piece is going to go. And I've been working on this piece. You can see it's partially sanded. This piece is going to go right there. It's been sanded. I might do a little more on it. So, whoops. Little practice cutting over there. Got my multi-use tool. Got a little Dremel tool for a sander. Going to be working on this, and I've picked up the frets. Or yeah, I had the frets. I got the gut to tie the frets. Got some tuners, strings. So yeah, there's a July 10th update. Okay, time for another update. Got the long board that'll be going through the box, and then the fretboard. The hardest part is going to be tying on the actual frets. But you can see I did some wood burning there at the MG Mountain Hawk. And the big news of the day, we got the box. See the nice, well, if I can get it out of the box, fret holes carved by Liza Seigido. Yay. Thank you, Liza. there you go. Well, it's June 13th. Putting pieces on. Got the tuners on. Got the nut on there. And got the fretboard glued to the rest of the neck. So there's the neck. That's where the box will be, or it'll be running through the box. Well, I have the first 2 frets tied on with string. The stuff I bought is harder than shit to work with. So I'm just using regular old string. We'll see how that works in the end. Okay, more progress. There's what it looks like on the inside at the moment. Got everything cut out. Got the piezo pickup hole cut out. And I have a 3rd fret on. Got 3 frets on now. Did a little more wood burning. A little bit more design there. And then looking at the other end of the spectrum, did a little more burning. And then we got, gonna have 6 strings on this baby. And if it doesn't fall off. So there's the back, and then because they're going to be loop strings, they'll loop around here. So what was on the original sitar was this. Actually, it'd be like that. But I opted to go for that. So here's my string tied. Alright, we're moving on. Okay, tonight I got the frets on. I have 18 out of the 20 frets that I had on the old one. So not bad. Now some of these may move once I get the strings on. That's the idea, to get it in tune. You'll notice what's different on a sitar is these frets stick up, right? So you can put your finger down here, the string goes on top, you bend. So it's not like a guitar fretboard. Completely different. Going on down, whee, and there's the end. So tomorrow I will join it with the box, and we'll start stringing and tuning and see how she sounds. Now on okay, so there's the neck that would go on it, or the neck. Duh, I'm tired, the bridge. On a typical sitar, pretending that we have a body here, you have your 7 strings up here that run on over top of the frets. Then below you have sympathetic strings, which is generally 11 to 13 of those that run under the frets. Obviously I have no tuners up here, so this is not going to have the sympathetic bridge or the sympathetic strings. It's going to have 6 strings out of the 7. Normally 2 of them run up here, and you would have them up here, but obviously that we're not going to do that, so I drilled one more hole in here that was 5 before, so I got 6. Generally the top 2 are drone strings. I won't throw any Indian terms your way. I plan on having the top 2 be those drone strings, so I'll basically be missing one in between somewhere, and I'll figure that out when I put the strings on. So we have the box attached to the neck. I still gotta attach that, and I need to do some adjustments to this because it's too high right now, and then we'll be putting strings on. Okay folks, Mike's dumbass error number 1. It took forever to tie all these things on. I mean, I spent all last night. Guess what? It matters. If you look at this, let me lay it down. If you look at that, See how it's a little higher and then it curves down? So it should be like that. I had all but like a few upside down. So I went to put the strings on and it ain't freaking playing right. They're not playing right at all. I thought, and I cut some of this off because it looked too high, and I'm not so sure now, so I may have to build back onto the bridge. So possibly 2 screw-ups, but that one's a major one, because guess what? Now I'm about out of string. So I got to get more string, and I just delayed this. I was hoping to have it up and playing tonight. So anyway, there you go, folks. Mike's dumbass error admitted right here. I always do something. This was going too good. I knew it was going too good. And it looks really nice. But you know what? If it looks nice and sounds like shit, that is not going to cut it. So I'm going to figure this out and get this thing playing. Okay, so an update. Got frets back on. I'm actually have 2 strings on now. So I'm getting her stringed up, getting ready to put a 3rd one on. And if I can get this clear, it's probably hard to see. You have to make a, you have to make a loop. And then it goes on underneath over here, out over here. Ooh, moving too fast. Did you get dizzy? Anyway, I just noticed though, I already got a fret that broke. So I'm going to have to retie that one. Not an easy project. So I'm trying to fix that, get a 3rd string on. And hopefully maybe tomorrow night get it finished. Strung up, plug it in, and play. Well, here it is with all 6 strings on it. Now the big test. See what it sounds like. Okay, I think I've been recording all this time. Here it is. I can't really get all of it in the picture, but I don't know. I'm not liking it at the moment. I think we still need a lot of work. Let's plug it in just to see if it actually makes some sound. But right now I think it sounds like crap. But it might be I just got to get the strings to stay in tune. Okay, and I gotta figure out how to hold it. Oh, got some delay in it. Well, I finally got this thing going, staying reasonably in tune. I'm still working with it a little bit. Because it's a square cigar box guitar, it's not rounded like a sitar, so I got a pillow wedged under it and my arm on it to kind of keep it where I can play it. Hope you can hear it. I unplugged it because it just sounded like crap. So I got to work with the settings in my DAW anyway. there it is. I'm going to work with it a little bit and try and do a video and do something as soon as I get a good sound. But here it is in all its glory.
Alrighty. Hello, Mike. Welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Wow, what an amazing build, Mike. And it was, I feel like it was definitely worth all the trouble.
Yeah, I do too, which is amazing. So
Sounds
most of my builds I have
incredible.
not been fond of. So
Oh, Mike, you're such a perfectionist. You know,
I
you
am I am
you
ridiculous. I admit
you
it.
gotta embrace noise sometimes, rattles, rips, out of tune
Well,
interactions, you know?
yeah, but the thing is, on this particular instrument, when I was stringing it up, number one, I kept breaking strings,
Gosh.
trying to find the right tuning because the length of the neck and various factors. A normal, well, let's talk about the tuning. A normal sitar tuning typically is what they call Ravi Shankar tuning,
Okay.
and it's C sharp.
Whoa.
This one, let me pick it up. Here it is, folks, live and in the flesh.
There it is.
Not knock my microphone over. This one, the playing string is G. So we're a long way from C sharp. So we have G. Where's my cheat sheets? I'm sorry. C. So it's C and G.
Oh gosh. So blurry.
No, it's G. I can't even write my notes right today. And I'm already a little.
We're a little bit shaken up, folks, because we had so many technical difficulties before the stream, both me and Mike. Oh my gosh.
Yes, camera. I could not get my camera to work, which would be really, really bad for this live stream. So anyway, so we have it in G, which is a far cry from C sharp. The next one is C. So it's C or G, C, G, G, and C, which is not 6, it's 5. And I ended up, well, number one, I kept breaking the other string, trying to get it to tune, and had to keep moving frets because these are movable frets in order to get this thing in tune. So I finally
so sitar strings are very delicate, Mike?
yeah, somewhat, but and yeah, I have a weird combination of strings. The top two I mentioned in the video are drone strings, and the actual where is it? I don't even see it on here. Anyway, they are Chikari strings, to use Indian terminology there, but they're basically drones, and they're two very thin strings. And I have one thin string and one not thin string. And they're typically both tuned, if you're in C sharp tuning, they're both tuned to C sharp. I have one in C and one in G.
Interesting.
So getting this thing to tune and then getting all the frets lined up for that tuning was interesting. And I had wanted to get a full scale, all 12, and I didn't make notes of what, but yeah, it's missing. I couldn't get them to line up exactly the way I wanted to line them up. So I don't know, maybe the next string change, I might get 6 strings on it, might end up with a different tuning, but
there's so much you could do with what you have right there, right now, though.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And then the other thing that's weird, because most sitars are rounded at the bottom, you have a box.
Yeah.
So this is, although it's seeming to not act up too bad, You have to really put a lot of pressure on. That's why you saw me with a pillow underneath of it. Although it seems to be okay now. So anyway,
Awesome.
I don't know. Fire away any questions. The chat. I'm not looking at the chat right now. I was during the video, but
Well, let me see.
hello, appreciate all the comments.
Let me see. Are there any questions in the chat? Let's see. Let's see. Let me bring Lawrence into the mix because I'm sure he has a ton of questions. Let me see. Trigger number 5. Here we go.
Oh, and it does have a piezo pickup in it. I'd have it plugged into a Fender amp right now. So it sounds pretty decent. Now,
sounds awesome, Mike.
And what I was going to say was, okay, so that part of the video where I said I thought it sounded like crap, yeah, I was getting, and that was the other thing. I ended up doing this tuning. I think I was trying D, which is just a half step above C sharp, and I just couldn't get the strings to tighten the way I wanted. I was getting that crappy. Okay, so you're supposed to get a buzz. Let's talk about that. The sitar bridge is far different than a guitar bridge. Where a guitar bridge, the string sits on up away from the bridge. The sitar, I don't know if you can see it in this, but the strings actually lay on top of this bridge, which gives it that kind of buzzy sound.
Oh, cool.
So you want that buzzy sound that you're hearing, but not, if you could hear in the video, not that buzzy sound.
Okay.
So I was getting the wrong kind of buzz. So a lot of people will try to put these on guitars, and with some amount of success, but you're not going to get it to sound like a sitar, which is what I saw in some of the cigar box sitar builds that I watched anyway. So
I mean, okay,
yeah, getting it stringed up was a pain in the ass.
I mean, I can tell, and I mean, I've seen really good approximations, and the people who made those approximations kind of invented their own instrument, which is cool in itself.
Yes,
but you really wanted to build something that sounded like, that behaved like a sitar, and I think you've succeeded, Mike. Even though you know you didn't get the Ravi Shankar tuning like you wanted, but
well, no, I didn't care about that. I was going to put it in an open type tuning. Some of my instruments, with Carnatic guitar, which is that where they slide with the fingers. You see Gabriel Marin of Consider the Source does that quite a bit. Yeah. And that tuning sometimes, although on his double neck it's standard tuning, but he has another guitar. It's that B E B E B E or E B E, yeah, B E B E B E. So this is similar. It's all G and C instead of E and B. So
okay. The relationships are the same. You got fourths.
Well, and and it makes a nice open sound.
Yeah.
When you strum all the strings, so it makes it nice. Although I ended up with 2 G's next to each other, but that's how it goes.
Reinforces the G, which is your tonic. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So you got
your drone.
2 C's and 3 G's.
Yeah. Flute Wizard is here. Hello, Flute Wizard. He says, "Look at that big thing."
Yay!
Yes. Wow.
Well, hello.
You who gave away the secret.
Well, I mean, you brought me on the stream, and I didn't get to say hello or anything. It's just like, we're gonna put a head on the screen. Here we go.
It's your punishment for giving away the secret.
Well, not only that, it's like I forgot what the focus of the later stream on earworms was going to be. It's actually supposed to be the dutar and the dombra, and I announced it as Mike cigar box sitar and his other builds. I think we're going to do a bunch of things. So yeah, we are going to be talking about the Dombra and the Dutar, some exotic.
Well, I tell you what, I'll save your ass. I'll bring it on for a brief, moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it deserves a recap. It deserves
Well, I
a
changed
lot
the
of people
title.
looking at it. Yeah.
You know, I changed the title. It's now Cigar Box Sitar, Dombra, and Dutar.
There
Cool.
you go.
It's
There
a
you go.
festival
I won't
of
make a
fun.
liar out of you. So,
All right. Well, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What would you say overall makes that instrument really sound like a sitar?
well, barring it doesn't have the sympathetic strings, I have no intention of putting sympathetic strings. Are a pain in the butt. But anyway, I mean, they sound beautiful, and we'll talk about that a little later on. I have my hidden behind me is my actual sitar, so we'll talk a little bit about that later and the differences. But the big thing is in the frets, because on most stringed instruments, when you push your finger, you're pushing down on the fret. So where here you're above the fret, you're quite a bit above the fret,
Oh yeah.
and um, so and the term bend is actually mend, MEND, in Indian music. But the big thing is, and you notice this string, the first string is way up here on the neck. So you were able to bend quite a bit. And
Love that.
very good sitar players can get up to 5 different notes on one bend. I'm not quite that good, but yeah. And there, you don't want to just, there is an art to bending. If you don't bend it, you can hear it as I go up. It's sour notes. So there is a definitive art to the mend.
Wow.
Mike,
Yeah.
do the strings feel different from steel guitar strings? How are the strings different? Are they lighter? Or what are they made out of? What,
Steel.
steel. But
So
they're
there's still steel strings. The big difference, and I've been trying to play every day, at least a little bit, because a guitar in most stringed instruments, you use the tip of your finger. So you use the tip. Here, you use almost down the middle of the finger. Maybe not quite the middle, but there, but right about there. So you're, whoop, sounds like I'm out of tune already. So I don't know if you can see the indentation, probably not, but you get an indentation there. So you're basically, you could have calluses on the tips of your finger from playing the guitar all day. You start playing this. If I haven't played in a while, I'm good for about 10, 15 minutes tops, and my fingers hurt. So it is a totally different instrument that you're playing. And
amazing.
you mainly use the string down here as your playing string. Some more accomplished sitar players might use the one above it a little bit, but mainly, oh my God, my back. Hold on, folks. I got to get this plugged in somehow. I'm on my laptop and my battery's already low.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Oh dear. Wow, but yeah, that really sounds like a sitar.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah, the electric cigar box says Hindu blues.
Yes. And Flute Wizard has some questions. We'll wait for Mike to come back on to.
You cannot have the blues without the boom.
Oh my gosh. What an amazing build. Definitely doesn't look like an instrument for people with small hands, though.
Oh my God, I figured I was good for 2 hours.
No,
Oops.
no.
Oh, this, ladies and gentlemen, this has just been crazy day. Crazy weekend.
Yeah.
Now I got to find an outlet.
It's been the day of technical difficulties,
without
man.
stepping on the sitar.
Sacrilege, Mike.
Well, I'm knocking everything over.
Uh,
Well, I basically
The
had to
flute
rearrange
wizard
my
has a
room to get a
question.
laptop out here. So
yeah, I'm waiting to relay Flute Wizard's question. Give Mike a chance, people.
all we are saying is give Mike a chance. Let's see if I think I'm charging now. I hope.
Check that battery bar, Mike.
It doesn't say anything.
Oh no.
Well, I think.
Oh man.
Oh my God. This is a Mizrab. This is what is played with. It hurts after a while.
Nice.
Well, it
Wow.
says that it's on.
Alrighty.
All right, I think it's charging.
Is it charging? Okay. Cool beans.
I hope so. Okay. Flute Wizard.
Yes, so Flute
my gosh.
Wizard, he's asking, what are all the components on that string? Very cool stuff. How many strings, etc. Use of woods, body, neck. Where'd you get those frets?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, and I'll post that video that you did in the intro on my YouTube later. And, but anyway, so, the wood for the neck, I believe it's popular. I got it at Home Depot. And I took 2 boards. You can kind of see it there. So the neck board is on top. The other one runs through. So it's going through the box. The top one is not. And let's see. All the components, I bought a sitar, I don't know how many years ago, off eBay for, like $200. And it pretty much, the reason I did it was it's kind of an intimidating instrument, especially with all the sympathetic strings. And that one was okay, but is basically a piece of crap.
No.
So eventually,
An okay piece of crap.
it's an okay piece of crap. Eventually,
He graduated.
Yes, I graduated to this one, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But it's a much nicer sitar. I paid more money for it. I got it off of Rain City out in Oregon, and which had a lot of communication with. So it tunes up nicely. You can play different scales that they call thats in Indian music. So it's much nicer. So anyway, this old sitar has been in the attic for I don't know how long ago in the bag that they sent it in. And so when I got this wild hair, I got it out of the attic. I took these 2 pieces off. I took all the frets off, and I got the bridge off of it. And originally I thought it was too long, and I cut the bottom off of it and found out I was wrong. So I had to add some wood to raise it up some more. The tuners were crap, so I didn't keep them. These are in between tuners, I guess you could say. They tune up nicely. So
are they guitar tuners, Mike? We can't see the tuners.
Yeah, they're just guitar tuners.
Okay.
Which on on that sitar, they had guitar tuners for all of it. And that's why I kind of thought it'd be good, because the sympathetic strings work. On this one, I have guitar tuners for 7 of the strings. And this is what I was talking about, the drone strings or Chikari strings. Of course, it's not in tune. If I wouldn't have had, I was going to have all this stuff in tune. But anyway, you can see they're wood pegs for the sympathetic strings.
Ooh.
Now if you want to have a classic sitar, they would have these wood pegs and big wood pegs for the other strings.
Man.
So,
but to tune with wooden pegs, to do fine tuning with wooden pegs is so difficult.
Well, yeah, my Dombra, my Dutar, they all have wood pegs.
Ooh.
And while it makes it, give it a more traditional, authentic look, yes, they're a pain in the butt. So, yeah, they don't tune. And Saz, same thing, wood pegs. So, it kind of takes a little bit away from the authenticity of the instrument. So, but the frets tie on. They're actually movable. I don't move them much on my other one because I don't know. I'm just kind of chicken to do it, and I can play enough to satisfy what I want to do with it. So I don't mess too much with moving them. From the video, as you saw, I really screwed up the first time on these. I tied 18 of them on and
wow.
it does matter how they go on there. And I ended up taking like almost all of them off, retying it. Some of them are still, I got to retie a couple of them. Some of them are still a little loose. So.
Wow. How long did it take for you to put on those frets a second time, Mike?
2-3 hours.
Oh man.
Something like that. Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part of the whole project. And the 2 or 3 of them I still need to take off and retie and try to get them tighter. I'm not the greatest. I got better as I went, but nonetheless. Well, and then I kept moving them, so that loosened some of them up by moving them. So,
Mike, can you hold up your instrument again, the one you built?
I think,
yeah, that has 5 strings, right?
Yeah, it's got 6 tuners, but as I said earlier, I ended up with 5, and I got to get another set because, I don't even have any. I think I had 1 more string left to go. I kept breaking strings right and left before I finally got a tuning where I could get all the strings tuned up. So,
are you eventually going to put on the 6th one since you have a tuner for it?
Well, I got to buy some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I got to buy some. And, well, the other thing I want to do, they usually on the bottom 2 strings down here, there's fine tuners, which are really just beads. And I forgot to put them on. So, have them. So
it happens.
Yeah, I'll probably put them on when I restring it at some point here. But yeah.
How do you find the box as a resonator, Mike?
Well, I think it sounds pretty good. You heard. So, and the piezo pickup seems to be working okay. So, all, I'm pretty glad. I mean, I'm pretty happy. The hole here's cut a little bit too big, but I mean, all in all, compared to everything else I've done in the past, I'd say this is my accomplishment.
It is an accomplishment. Sounds great, Mike.
Yeah. And that's the reason I kept it a secret in case it just didn't work out.
Well, we tried keeping it a secret, right, Lawrence?
Well, yeah.
Well, the good thing is not many people pay attention to him, so probably they didn't hear it.
It's all right. Oh man, I mean, I'm just
the one that saw what he put on earlier too. I was like, oh my God, he put it out there! Holy cow!
Nobody noticed. Me.
They were probably just mesmerized by the thumbnail. They're like,
What?
what? Are those Native Americans on the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do for thumbnail
Well, when you
design?
ask for a picture of Mike Mountain Hawk Gourley playing a cigar box sitar, it's going to make it Native American like because Mountain Hawk, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
and
Well, I
of
am
course for the
dark.
image of you, it's like Liza Mountain Hawk Seigido and Lawrence Mountain Hawk Moore. You
Oh gosh.
know.
Ah,
People expect silly AI from me. You know.
yes. From Stable Diffusion. That no, Mike. I'm still thinking. I think I know how you think, and I see the wheels turning about the sympathetic strings.
No, it ain't happening. I guarantee you. I'm happy with what I have. If I want sympathetic strings, I'll just play my other sitar.
Mm.
I mean, it's man, an amazing accomplishment, man.
But I don't remember. Did you say why you didn't? Other than being a pain in the ass, what is it that makes
Well, I mean,
sympathetic things a pain in the ass?
Okay, I would have to install tuners all down here, which means, and I didn't. The neck would have had to be one piece because you have to drill down through here, and then it comes out here. That's
Mhm.
why they're a pain in the butt. You got your tuner up here, so you got to run the string down a hole and up here. And I've changed them once on the other one, and let me tell you, yeah, it took me all day just to change strings on it.
But Mike,
If I had someone local I could pay to do it, I would happily pay.
but you could cheat with sympathetic strings rather than installing them the traditional way under the fingerboard. Maybe you could install them inside the box.
Inside the box.
Yeah, you know how
Yeah, like
people.
a spring reverb.
Yeah, like instead
Where
of
you put
having a
the-
spring reverb, you can make a little harp for inside the box. Ah?
Where are you putting the tuning pegs?
Well,
Well, no, I guess think of it more of like a spring reverb rather than a sympathetic strings. You could take those
Well-
springs from like door jams and just put some in the box.
you could I've seen these little.
I thought you were going to say like a choral sitar from the 60s and 70s where it's up here.
You could do that too, but
Then
what
you have
I'm
to get the tuners like you have on the harps and stuff like that.
yeah, that's what I was thinking because there are little harp kits on Amazon and that sell the little zither things that you can tune up a string with a kind of a wrench type thing. And so maybe put a little harp that's already pre-tuned inside the box to whatever key you're playing, and that would give you the sympathetic vibrate. At least you'll be able to hear it when you're plugged in. I don't know if you'll hear the sympathetic vibrations without the piezo, but at least
Well,
in the
Mike-
box, when plugged in, you'd be able to hear them.
Well, Mike, the flute wizard says you got yourself a Mountain Hawk Gourley.
Gortar, yes, an invention.
Well, yeah, and I don't know how many more people we have in. Some may have not heard it played, so they might be sitting there going, "Is he going to play something?"
Yes.
Yeah, we're up to 10 now, so
Go
10.
ahead and play.
Well, I'm banking some people might have missed the intro video, so yeah, I think I can. So I think I got it.
I'm gonna remove you from the screen, Lauren, so we could see more Mike.
And I know when I was charging up the battery, which I hope is charging. Let me take a quick look here.
Go for it.
I haven't seen anything flash up, so
There we go.
yeah, we're up to 18%. We were at 8, so yay.
Cool beans.
It's just been one of those days. All right. I mentioned that you don't use a standard guitar pick. You have this thing called a mizrab. If you can see that, try to get that somewhere.
Yes.
Anyway, ooh, doo, 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 which is basically a wire, essentially. So, anyway, and if you hit it wrong, you'll catch it on the string, and that sucks.
Oops. Cool beans, Mike.
Yay!
Cool. Okay, Mike, I have questions.
I might
I
have answers.
I know that you took apart a sitar to build this, but um
Yes,
are you able to buy, for example, frets and the buzzy bridge on on Amazon? Can you buy sitar parts on Amazon?
I
S-
haven't looked. I don't
Oh,
know if you can on Amazon, but I would think somewhere you could get these parts. You might have to get them from India. I don't know, but you know, I don't know if Rain City has them. They might. Um,
Rain City. What is Rain City again?
it's called Rain City Music, and it's out of Oregon. And I mean, if you want to buy any Indian instruments, Uh, I highly recommend them because they build nice quality instruments, and maybe we'll maybe this is a good time to. Woo! Hey,
Eh.
reverb there.
It resonant.
Good time to maybe segue.
Oh wait, let me bring Lawrence back on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned reverb. You can get. I'm seeing here. You can get Bangina, whatever, sitar frets for like $60 at Reverb and more.
$60. What are those frets made out of?
I don't know.
What do
Whatever they're
you
made out of.
are they
Metal.
steel
I
They
don't
metal?
know. I'd say they're not copper. They look like copper, but that would be pretty expensive, I would think. I just say,
uh yeah, well, it looks like you can get them. Yeah, Reverb. One of them says Reverb and more, and then there's something called et- m- ethnic musical instruments. Yeah, you can get them in country.
Okay.
welcome to Feedback Central. Obviously, the pickup in this is stronger.
Did we chat, can you hear Mike?
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure
Okay.
I need.
Looks like I'm
Everybody
still
hearing me?
your volume dropped a bit.
Oh, well, I'm not really.
Yeah, you're coming through though.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm sure this thing went out of tune, but so there are several differences between this and that. Obviously, this one has the sympathetic strings, which run under the fret bars, and you have a second bridge down here. So,
Very cool.
and these are the fine tuning beads I was talking about there.
Oh,
There
there we go.
I have to sit back a little ways so you can't see the, the whole instrument. But
Flute Wizard is asking how many strings are on the traditional sitar?
fair question. Generally, you have on the top bridge, you have 7 playing strings. So, and then you have this one has 11. Yes, 11 sympathetic strings. Some sitars have 13. So it's 7 and 11 or 13.
Wow, I can imagine. How long does it usually take you to tune this thing, Mike?
Well, I'm not going to worry about the sympathetic strings too much right now. Just trying to get the
main ones, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I have probably 9 on it because when I changed them, I kept breaking them. Basically, the deal with the sympathetic strings is that properly tuned, they will resonate with notes you're playing on the main strings. So, I mean, I'll at least get a couple of them in tune. So when they're tuned up properly, they give a really, really nice sound. Hopefully.
All right.
I wonder, let me ask. Yes, they are a pain in the butt to tune. You're not usually going to just, like I grab my Fender Strat, it's either already in tune or maybe a couple minor adjustments and you're off to the races.
Yeah.
You're going to sit for a few minutes. And especially you start bending strings. See, no, it's in tune. Okay, let me ask after I get this on here. Can you hear it without the amp?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to skip the amp on this one. I didn't like the way it sounded, and I got a Fender Champion which has several settings for amp modulation, so I don't want to sit here for 5 minutes trying to get it all set right. But this is what this is. It's called a custom studio sitar. And one of the differences is, if you notice on the back, it's flat. Now, if you were to watch someone like, say, Ravi Shankar or any, big name Indian, they have a big gourd. It's big rounded at the bottom. They also have attached to the top, attached to the top, another gourd. And if you can, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can't see this.
Is
But it's called a tumba.
nice.
But it's a big gourd that basically gives it more resonating. So it resonates. So if you have a big traditional sitar, this is nice because it's a little smaller. It actually has a pickup in it. So hence studio sitar. And also the other ones with the tumba on it and all the other stuff are a lot more expensive.
I bet.
This one wasn't cheap. So anyway, that's some of the difference between those two sitars. And anyway, we'll so the top two strings, like I said, are drone strings. I wanted to have that on the other one, and these are both tuned to C sharp. I talked about that earlier, where this one is G, so it's a bit different tuning. But and I ended up with a little bit heavier string on one of the top strings. I hope to probably fix that later so it has more of this sound. So anyway. And one of the things, this is just an oil, and you will see, if you ever watch a sitar player, every now and then they'll reach down, they're dipping for oil to give you a little more slide on your string.
Oh
They'll
my
also
gosh.
do this. So anyway.
Amazing, Mike. And
Yeah, other than
that's
I kept forgetting, since I was playing the other one and the fret layout's a little different. Sorry for the bad notes up here, but
so the sympathetic strings on that one are not activated yet because they're not in tune.
I know the bottom ones were ringing.
Okay,
That
they were
one's,
ringing. Okay,
yeah, which
it could just be the.
do you hear it?
Can you
I can.
go ahead?
Yeah,
It's probably just the resolution of the audio on the stream. I wish we had high res audio and sort of.
you would hear that. Hear the after? I'm trying to get it closer to the microphone. So.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you're getting some. I just
Yeah.
don't have them all tuned up. So you're getting, yeah. So yeah, I mean, if I tune them all up, then we'd be getting a little bit more sound. Oh yeah, when I first got it and had them all on here, yeah. I mean, I could send it back to Rain City and he'd put sympathetic strings on it, get it all nice, and but it cost me an arm and a leg.
Wow. No,
So
I
yeah,
mean, I can imagine.
it's hard to change these sympathetic strings. Like I said, there's a hole that goes down the neck, and then they come out down here. You can see these little white dots. That's what's holding the sympathetic string on, is these white dots down there.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so you have to um, take those little white dots out so you can get the string through there. You have a device that you have to, it's like a hook. You pull it out and hook them through. So yeah, and like I said, I've already broke 2 or 3 of them. So, so um, anyway,
Amazing. I
yeah,
mean,
the sympathetic strings are, and oh yeah, and there you, yeah, you got to chalk the pegs so they don't slip too much, and
oh
they,
my gosh, wooden pegs.
well, and that's the other thing, tuning it. These things are really tight. I
Yeah.
actually have a device that fits over it so you can crank it. So yeah, the wood tuning pegs are they're a pain in the butt.
Still an amazing sounding instrument,
Oh,
even without all the sympathetic strings. I mean,
absolutely,
gorgeous instrument.
absolutely. And eBay. Like I said, I got that first one off eBay. Um, most people buy a sitar so they can play Norwegian wood in within without you. You can find all kinds of YouTube videos about people playing shitty eBay sitars so they can play that.
How
So,
does your DIY cigar box sitar compared to the crappy eBay ones? What do you think?
oh, I think that's better. Yes.
Awesome.
Now, is it better than this? No. But I mean, this is,
It's different. It's different.
yeah,
It,
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna compare mine to a guy, Nareem Sitar Maker. You think that's his real last name? I don't know, but anyway, yeah, the guy in India that made this sitar has probably made, I don't know, a couple thousand, who knows? So, and that's, if you look at this, the work on this thing is
oh
just
yeah, the inlays
beautiful.
are beautiful.
Yeah. Now the other one had it. You can look in the video, but they were, cheap plastic and
They were
really,
fake inlays, yeah.
yeah, they were not as nice at all. And yeah, you got this all the way up to here and
I see some mother of pearl there.
back.
Look in the back as well. Wow.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. So, I mean, if you're looking for something to hang on a wall, yeah, you could get away with, the cheap one, but uh, I wouldn't suggest it. I'm sure there are other good
Oh,
places. I just know of Rain City Music, and I mean, if you type in Rain City Music, you'll get them. They'll come up.
cool.
And I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Lars, I think, is the owner. But very nice guy, very helpful. Answered all my questions, which I had a million of them. So,
Cool.
because I was looking at, well, maybe if I get a $600 or $700 one, and they're probably better than the $200 eBay, but yeah, you're going to pay $1,000 or more
For something
for
that's playable.
something that's going to sound nice, and yeah, yeah, and I mean, I forget what he changed. He changed a couple things on it to. I think he might have changed a couple of the tuners. Now I have changed a couple of the tuners, but nonetheless, that happens on guitars too. Sometimes the tuner locks up on you and
Yeah.
you have to change it. So
In as
How are we
far,
doing in the chat out there? I'm not watching the chat, but thank you everybody who's hanging out there.
Yep.
Appreciate
There is such a thing as a double neck sitar,
woo,
but I don't see where you can get one. I guess
a
yeah, it's
double
got
neck sitar.
yeah.
I can't
Well,
even imagine that.
yeah, but it looks more like a guitar with sitar like
Oh,
fingerboards.
Hey, Scott Hovitt, welcome.
God.
Scott,
Hello.
yes. Our diehard from Earworms, welcome.
Yes, I will be on there tonight too with other weird instruments.
Yes,
Because
it
I
will.
play a lot of weird instruments.
That
Not
is
weird in the countries that they're from, but you do see more and more sitar players. The sitar has, let me, since I made these notes, obviously the sitar is an Indian instrument. And I was curious because I wasn't even sure when it was invented or came about, but it oddly enough is considered in the lute family, which is also where the dombra and dutar and all that stuff is. And there is an instrument called a vina, which is played more like a steel string. It looks very kind of similar to a sitar, but it's played on the lap. So, and it's a little more bassy. But
are those the sitar things that are played with a slide?
no, that is it looks like a guitar. It's called Hindustani. And yeah, Gabe has one of those actually. He studied with the guy, and I don't want to butcher up his name, but yeah, it's also played slide version. And it is, but they do the Carnatic slide on a lot of stuff, and that's how the vina is played. And a famous, I have my little statue, but you probably can't see that. Can we see that? Yes. That is the goddess Saraswati, who is holding a vina. So
Very cool.
she is the goddess of wisdom, knowledge, learning, and music and arts in the Hindu. So anyway, I had that out there just for something to throw out there.
Very cool.
I have my little statue that I have where my sitar is. So anyway, okay, it was thought to be, where am I at with this? An Amir Hushra, who lived in the late 14th century, was thought to be the inventor of the inventor of the sitar. That's been debated. There might have been, he was a musician, and he did, play some instruments, but it's thought it might be more like the Persian sitar, which is S-E-T-A-R. The sitar is much smaller, and it's usually a 3-stringed instrument. So it doesn't sound anything like a sitar.
Doesn't sitar mean 3 strings though?
Sitar? No.
No.
Dutar means 2 strings.
Okay.
Sitar, I haven't looked up sitar. I don't know. That might mean 3 strings. And actually, hold on. There is a sitar.
Cool.
Although I have a couple broken strings on it, so it's got 4 tuners, but one of the strings is double. So it's basically a 3-string instrument. It's probably not tuned, and it's only got 2 strings on it. So, but anyway, just so you have a visual what the difference is between that and a sitar, it's quite a bit, quite huge. So anyway, it was more in the 18th and 19th century that the sitar got refined and is more like the modern form that you see today. So anyway, and it was popularized obviously by George Harrison and Norwegian Wood in the 60s with the Beatles. And then after Harrison put it out, he went and the difference between him and a lot of other people that put out music in the 60s and 70s with the sitar is George Harrison actually went over to India and studied with Ravi Shankar, and then brought Ravi Shankar over to the States. And then all of a sudden, Indian music became more popular, and other people were coming over and playing after that. And then a lot of people recorded. And I've listened to a lot of the recordings. I mean, George Harrison actually learned how to play the sitar. So, but some of the recordings that you hear people, you can tell they obviously don't really, I mean, they figured out a scale to play with the song they're playing. But honestly, I can play that good. So I wouldn't put myself up there, obviously, with Ravi Shankar. These people who learn these instruments, and Damra, Dutar, all the same. I mean, these things are put in their hands when they're a kid. Yeah. Ravi Shankar, you know, his daughter is probably every bit as good as he is, maybe better. I don't know, but you know, they start playing when they're little. So the Indian music is really, really serious music, and it's classical Indian music anyway is very spiritually based. And the interesting thing about Indian music is that it's based off vocal. And I'm more into the instrumental music. I can honor the singing abilities of the people who do it, but basically Indian instruments are designed to pattern the voice. So if you're learning how to play the sitar or any Indian instrument, you're not going to pick up that instrument initially. You're going to learn the vocals. Cool. And then eventually you'll have the instrument in hand. And like I think there's a video out there of Ravi teaching his daughter, and he's like, and she goes, you know, so.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that the best ear training courses that you can take at any Western university or music program require you to be able to sing what's on a piece of paper, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how that's kind of how we evaluate. Are you internalizing what you see on the paper before you pick up your instrument? So even in the West, that is, you know, that is a mark of a good musician. If you can sing it, you know that you're really understanding the relationships of what you're playing, you know, the musical relationships on the page, you know.
Also, I just wanted to add, I did some investigating, and for 3 strings, you have some options here. In North Africa, there's an instrument called the gimbri, which has kind of like a real narrow neck, according to the picture here, and a curved bowl-shaped body. And then in Japan, the shamisen, which is actually played by plucking the strings.
With the big plectrum?
Yeah, you got a big, it's a big.
Yeah, that has 3 strings.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I actually kind of at one time was intrigued with that instrument, but I watched a guy's YouTube video, and I mean, he wasn't saying not to get one, but he said it's not an instrument that you hang on the wall. It's very climate controlled type of, he said you got to keep it in the case, and yeah, by the time he was done with the video, I was like, yeah, no, I hang all my stuff on the wall, so
Yeah, too much
I
maintenance.
don't have any room for cases and whatnot. But I mean, cases is the best, but
Um,
yada yada yada.
one thing that I've always wondered, because we have guitars, sitars, dutars. I mean, do all of these instruments have the same origin?
Uh,
Where they must
Whoa,
have.
whoa,
I don't
whoa.
know.
I was searching for a gimbri on Amazon. They do have gimbri strings. They have some goat gut gimbri strings from Morocco.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, a
Wow.
lot of instruments were originally, yeah,
Yeah, I
goat
know
or
gut.
some other animal. Yeah, gut,
Mm.
gut strings.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know about the sitar though. I think it's. I don't think. I mean, maybe early versions of it, like the lute type versions. But yeah, Indian instruments are fascinating in and of themselves. If you look at a sarod, it's got a metal fretboard, and you slide very similar to like the Carnatic music kind of thing. But you don't use a slide. You use a lot of times they'll use their fingernail.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which if you ever played like that, it's kind of yeah, it's not easy.
I
So
can imagine. So it's like, how do you get that to work? Ooh.
oh yeah, I'm still amazed. And when I first started taking lessons off Gabriel Marin from Consider the Source before I got a Dutar or Dombra, I said, well, why don't you show me some of that Carnatic stuff you do on the guitar? And man, he makes it look so easy, but it is not easy. It is, and especially the way, he's like, up and I'm like, whoa. I mean, I've been taking lessons off the guy for over 2 years. It's still just amazing to watch him play. And yeah, it's almost worth paying him for lessons just to watch him. So
I mean,
learn.
oh,
Well, all the gimbris I'm seeing here on eBay are rectangular. So I guess, a 3-string cigar box guitar is almost a gimbri.
interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, there's a circular one there.
And I don't
Okay.
want to, and I don't want to bash eBay too bad because I mean, my Dombras I got off a guy in Kazakhstan off eBay, and I got another instrument that I'll show tonight. Yeah, I've got a few instruments off of him, and I'm sure they're not as good as the ones Gabe has, but
Hmm.
they're pretty good, and they're very playable. So that's a big difference there. Of
Gabriel
course,
gets his custom made, right, Mike?
um, not necessarily, but he actually, like when I got his Persian Dutar, he had been to Turkey and bought one. So, but and I didn't know this until probably 4 or 5 months ago. I think it's called Salsa Muzak, Muzak. I can look that up and maybe slap it on earworms later.
Hmm.
But yeah, he actually highly recommends them. So they make a lot of different Persian, Turkish instruments, no Indian instruments. So, and maybe I'll get a link for before the earworm starts tonight. Maybe I'll put Rain City on there and this one, so anybody interested can check that out.
Yep, been mentioning them, and yeah, might as well have a link in the video description. If you could send me the links, Mike, I'll add them
Yeah,
to the live afterward.
yeah, there you go. So people check later.
And Lawrence, you said you found some sitar parts on reverb.com?
Well, yeah, Reverb, eBay,
Yeah,
but they do have them on Amazon too. So you'll be happy to know that.
Okay, so
Maybe you
then
can make a referral link.
No, I don't make referral links for anything that I haven't tried myself.
Yeah,
So
I know.
Well, I bought a lot of stuff off Reverb. I mean,
I'm
there's other
having
people selling
fun.
it. It's not. I mean, some of them are from storefronts, so
Well,
I've had a lot of good luck with Reverb, actually.
the link
Okay.
for Rain City Music is actually sitar-tabla.com. So you type sitar dash dot
And I tell you what, them tabla
tabla.com.
drums, they look like, bongos. There's two of them, and that is actually known as one of the hardest drums on the planet to master and play.
I bet.
Those guys that play the tabla are freaking amazing. So
To get
Years
all of those diverse sounds from one thing, the way you hit it.
oh
How
yeah. The center, the rim, yeah, which is
everything.
true of a lot of drums, but
I remember my uncle tried to teach me how to play bongos, which is, you know, he can this man could get so many different kind of sounds from one instrument just by tapping it with different parts of his hands and tapping different parts of his hands on different parts of the instrument. And I tried, and yeah, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult. And so
yes, yes, it is.
it's an amazing skill. I've
Yeah, and
seen
if you listen to any, long, a lot of classical sitar pieces known as ragas are, 20, 30 minutes long. And they generally start off with an intro called an alap, A-L-A-P. And usually that's just the sitar. And then eventually the tabla and other instruments will come into it. But you'll notice it'll start off slow and just kind of gradually build and pick up and pick up. So it's not, it's not easy music to master for sure. And a lot of people, I mean, you can learn how to play. I'm happy. I think it's a very meditative instrument. Like I said, it's kind of a spiritual instrument. Well, they all are to me, but it's easy to get yourself just in a mindset playing any number of those ragas.
well,
So
as I say, you don't have to be on a virtuoso player on a pristine instrument to create something beautiful, to create something worth listening to create something with value. So,
right,
we may never reach that level, but doesn't mean that what we're producing isn't valuable. So,
well,
go for it.
and what I do, and my YouTube channel is proof of that. What I do is I take these instruments and with a respectful mindset, I try to do different things and sometimes combine them in the same song and just do things that are different than what anyone else is doing. So that's kind of my thing is creativity, I guess is what I'm
Yes.
saying. I'm not a great sitar player. I'm not a great flute player. The flute wizard is way better than I am. But I play all these instruments and I work a job. So, uh, I just sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes I tell Gabe, we need to have a lesson next week because I really haven't gotten to this, or recently I said, hey, can we just do a review on the Dutar because I'm forgetting some of the stuff you taught me before. So, and I wanted to go over, and I'll talk about that tonight, the different right hand, because that is very big right hand oriented stuff. So, with all the instruments that I play, yeah, would it be better to master an instrument? Probably, but I'm 64 and I've only been doing this for about maybe a decade now. For most of my life, I'm an old deadhead. I strummed chords on a guitar and I sang, and of course, I don't sing much anymore. My voice is not as good as it once was. But I got more into the instrumental music, and then I kind of got into the ambient music. So I listened to a lot of different stuff, and I think sometimes that is incorporated in what I do. So I use them in different ways.
Look, Mike, a creative person can make music with anything. With
I mean, the sitar's being used in fusion, jazz stuff.
right.
It's being
But
used in a
but
lot of
what
different.
what I mean is, you don't necessarily have to become a virtuoso on a pristine instrument. If you're creative and you're just set out to make something, um I mean, you can take a mic stand and create something compelling with that. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and what you create has value, Kudos to the people who are virtuosos who can really make an instrument talk. But, you know, it is not the requirement to create great music. And so, and people like us who are, have a different lifestyle, who can't dedicate, you know, all our lives to really becoming a great player, still have something to contribute in the musical world. So
Well, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Well, and I think it's what you produce with
yes,
it. And me and Gabe have talked about this because there are some people that well, that's not traditional, and anything that deviates, they lose their mind. And you know,
I don't like the gatekeeping, is what
yeah, no,
what I'm
no, no,
saying.
absolutely
Yeah,
not. And I think, well, I think number one, what is your intent? I mean, I'm not, if I
right.
do something different, I'm not trying to disrespect it.
Of
And
course.
I try to learn, some of the traditional stuff. I have some knowledge of, like I said, they don't call them scales, they call them thats. I have some working knowledge of it. But, am I like somebody who's, been playing since they were, 10?
Well,
No,
you're
I
not
don't
going
have that kind of background and knowledge, but that doesn't mean I can't take that instrument and do something that
exactly.
sounds good. And that's what we were talking
Exactly.
about. Does it sound good? That because
I
no
agree.
matter what you're playing, if it don't sound good, well,
Well,
it doesn't matter.
the thing is, Mike, it's like you're not online claiming that you're playing traditional Indian music. You're just creating with this instrument that inspires you, and that's okay too.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because I remember reading an interview with R. Carlos Nakai, who plays the Native American
Mm-hmm.
and is Native American, that he said, he doesn't really try to sound Native American. So here's a Native American guy playing the Native American style flute, which is the politically correct term, I guess. Um, who says, yeah, I'm not really trying to do that. Now he does play some traditional songs, but the stuff that he writes, if you will, and plays, that's his, he's trying to sound like him. And,
Right.
and that's that's sage advice to anyone.
Yeah.
If you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
sound like someone else, why? Sound like you. And I'll
Agreed.
never forget years ago here in an interview, they were talking to The Edge from U2, and it was a call-in show, and this kid called in and he says, asked The Edge, how can what do I need to do to sound more like you? And he kind of chuckled and he said, well, my first advice is don't try to sound like me. He goes, because we definitely don't sound like anyone else. And I'll agree with him there. He don't sound like anybody else, whether you like their music or not. They don't sound like anyone else. He said, we never really were a cover band. So that's really my goal is I'm not trying, like I take lessons off Gabe, but I don't sound like Gabe. My videos don't sound like Consider the Source or anything that Gabe does. So, I have influence from that, but I try to be me. So there you go. Yes.
Wow. There's some interesting stuff here at this Rain City Music. They also have these string instruments called tanpuras.
Yep.
Some of them 4 strings, some 5 strings, some of them kind of rectangular, others like round shape.
It's
And
an
then
accompaniment.
they actually have an a digital version of that instrument that looks like a box and stuff that you just kind of like I don't know. It
Yeah.
looks like it has a dial on it or something like that. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, there's some digital tablas and tempura. Yeah, you can get, but that instrument, you'll see them in the background usually, sitting right over their shoulder or something, and it's kind of upright, and it's basically like a drone instrument. So it's an accompaniment. I can't talk today.
That's all
Accompaniment
right.
instrument. Yeah, there you won't see anybody doing a solo on it.
Uh-huh.
It's
Flute
just purely.
Wizard. Oh, I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
was gonna say I'm not hearing nothing from the chat. Do we got anything out there? What are we
Yeah,
missing?
no, Flute Wizard agrees with you, Mike. He says, exactly, you got to take the time to develop your own style. Emulation is fine, influence, flattery, etc. But at the end of the day, you got to find your core. And that's
Yeah.
what the Flute Wizard says.
Yeah, we were listening to one of Flute Wizard's streams the other day.
Yes.
That night he was kind of like the Barry White of flute playing.
Yes, Flute Wizard, that was
I'm
great.
so behind, my man. I have all those videos in my watch later. I am so behind on stuff at the moment. But life has just been kind of a little crazy lately. So anyway, but I have them all in my watch later box going, okay, I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, it's tough being a YouTuber and keeping up
Well,
with.
I don't watch much TV anyway. And
Yeah.
mostly what I watch is what I have in my watch later with YouTube. So, and then occasionally when Earworms does a movie, I'll watch that movie.
You got Tron
for
next
commentary.
week.
And I need to watch that movie sometime.
You didn't see it back in the day?
No, man.
It's not his
I just
style,
never
man.
Yeah, I'm that guy that you didn't see that movie. You didn't? No, I didn't.
Well,
I mean,
I don't
movies,
see movies anymore pretty much, but I remember as a kid I saw Tron. That was pretty big.
I never saw Tron as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it.
Well, you were 1 year old when it came out.
Was I?
You
Was
big
it?
baby.
Was it? Oh, it was
84.
that early? I thought it was.
Yeah.
When was it?
No, it was
84?
really innovative. It was really innovative. That was like really early.
I didn't think it
computer.
was that early. Okay.
Yeah.
You say 1984?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1984. That was my last year of being the party guy. That was the year I later in the year decided that I wanted to move to C30.
No, it's 1982.
Oh.
Oh well, I was busy partying then.
Wow, that was the
I didn't
same
really
year
go to
as
a lot
The
of
Wrath
movies.
of
Every
Khan.
now and then we go to a movie, but really, yeah. Well, and I worked a lot, but when I wasn't, working, I was partying.
Cool beans. Well,
Questions from the chat?
questions
Yeah,
from
can
the
you
chat.
shut up, Lawrence? He's asking
Do what?
about. Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah, I diverted us into.
Yes, you did. I'm gonna blame it on you. Anyway, Scott Hobbit, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. We always count on Scott for that. He's good at that.
Liesel saw Tron. She was 15 when she saw it.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, I grew up watching Disney movies that were made before I was born, but never got around to catching Tron. Saw tons of Star Trek that were made before I was born.
Next week we'll do some slides and moments from it, but also we'll talk about Wendy Carlos, the composer, who did the score.
Oh, what is that, Mike?
Yeah, you can find on Rain City, because that's where I got this.
What is that?
It's called a whoopee chod, and it's a very weird instrument. I have yet to figure out what to really do with this recording wise.
Huh,
But
okay.
it's a one string. You got a string that goes down through here. There's comes out on the bottom of this. You got this little. You can make these, but and yeah, you got one tuning peg. But anyway, the basic gist of this thing is you.
Oh no! Oh, I like that.
Now there are people on YouTube, I guess from India, that actually do stuff with this.
Is it more of a? Is it more a rhythm instrument than a melodic
Yeah,
instrument?
they sing with it,
Okay.
and I don't sing any Indian traditional Indian stuff.
I'd
I
like
think
to
I
hear you
just kinda thought
try.
it was, whoops, I tuned it wrong.
I'd like to hear Mike sing some Bollywood.
Yeah, yeah, no. But I thought I'd just. I mean, if you want to make weird sounds,
That is a cool thing.
they sing and then they'll just, and you know, la, 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 yes. So
Cool beans.
I guess it would be an accompaniment instrument, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one of these used with the sitar or, yeah, I think it's kind of a on its own singing kind of instrument, but it's cool. It's
It is
interesting.
cool. It is super cool, and it looks
Every
like
now and then I'll just pull it out if I feel like being weird.
that looks like that might be an interesting build, an interesting
Oh yeah,
project.
well, you could build one. Yeah, it's getting the right wood in, but not break.
Mm.
Right. Albert
You know,
says,
other than that, it's kind of it's like a coffee can guitar or something, But yeah, there's no neck.
yes, yes.
One wood tuner, but if you're just playing it, whoops, I keep turning it the wrong way.
Looking at the chat here, Albert says my roommate in college tuned his regular 6-string a certain way and played Norwegian wood. It sounded great, except for my singing, he says. Cool beans.
Well, I mean, part of that, part of that is, played on guitar. So, but I think he's talking about the guy was trying to do the sitar part on a guitar. I get that. Well, and you have a lot of, there was the choral sitar that the Rolling Stones used on Paint It Black, and actually Ron Wood still uses that for Paint It Black. It emulates the sitar somewhat. It kind of has the fret, and so it has the buzzy sound. But I don't think there's anything really that sounds like a sitar other than a sitar. Genuinely sounds like it.
Yeah.
So that was the goal of this. The cigar box sitar was to get as close to it, and that's why I wanted to use actual sitar frets and all that.
I think, I think
What
you
were
found the
those-
formula, Mike. It's the frets and the buzzy bridge that give you that sound. Yeah.
What were those electric guitar sitars called that you mentioned when we did Spinal Tap?
Well, one of them, that's what I was talking about, the choral
Okay.
sitar. Dan Electro makes one. They don't have, the Dan Electro one, it's just 6 strings.
Mm-hmm.
So, no sympathetic, but it's all about the bridge. Yeah. I was going to say, you can get on YouTube and there's all kinds of videos of how to make a guitar. There's one trick where they just take like one of those wooden kitchen spoons and shove it down in back where the bridge is on the guitar. And I tried that. I mean, yeah, you get a little bit of buzz, but I don't know.
What type of wood is the buzzy bridge made out of, Mike?
The bridge is not made out of, the base is wood. No, it's plastic.
Oh, plastic. So you need something like plastic to get that buzz on the bridge. Interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
What did they use before plastic was invented?
Good question. I mean, they might have used wood originally. Very
Yeah,
possible.
probably.
I
Or they
was
used metal. I
Probably.
don't. Yeah.
Maybe bone.
I know
There
that
you go.
they
I,
I,
and actually, on a probably a very expensive sitar, I would say it probably is bone. It's like you can get bone
right.
bridges for guitars,
Right.
but you're going to pay extra money or buy, really nice guitar. So yeah, I would say that yeah, the most of them are plastic on the mid range. That's what I would call mine, a mid range. It's a far cry from the crappy one I had at first. But yeah, if you wanted one like that, like one that Robbie Shankar played, you're probably looking at $3,000-4,000, and I'm sure you could find those on Rain City as well.
I was looking up but well, I was looking up sitar strings on Amazon for a project that I'm doing.
Yeah, they're like $29.
Yeah, the complete set, and in the process, I found out that some of the tuners, the ones that you place at the bottom of the between the tailpiece and the bridge,
Yeah, the
those
beads.
tuners beads are made out of camel bone. So maybe the
Ooh,
originally the bridge was made out of camel bone.
Originally it was antlers. Well, horn.
Oh,
They say
okay.
here horn from
Interesting.
deer. Well, it'll be
Okay.
since they say deer antler. Yeah, yeah, antler or horn. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Scott. The countdown that you see on the screen is my camera telling me that for tax reasons I have to shut down. You know, in order for me to be considered to be a camera and not a video camera, so I don't fall under. Um, yes.
Yeah, there's
So
restrictions on companies that, digital camera companies that allow video capabilities. There's restrictions on them if they're not in the professional price tier. They can't go more than like 40 minutes or something at a time.
and I
So,
love this Nikon. It looks good. You get such nice colors from it, and but man, this tax situation, I wish that they would like fix that so that I can update the firmware and run this as a real video camera. It's kind of frustrating. Camera. So that's the reason for the countdown, Scott. So sorry about that. After 30 minutes, it goes kaput. So
huh? That's interesting.
don't buy a Nikon DSLR for vlogging. I mean, I bought this to document my electronic operas because the colors were so nice on it. I mean, for for filming a concert, it wasn't a problem. But this is the camera that I had, and I don't want to.
well,
I mean,
yeah,
I
if you don't
don't.
want cuts, then it's a problem.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to use my what do you call the webcams? They just don't look good. I
No,
don't
no.
like it. So I prefer to have to turn it on continuously rather than use something that, I don't know. I
Well,
think
it's
it's
just to
a
protect those companies that do the professional,
yeah.
movie company cameras, so that people don't have something high quality that undercuts their price.
Right. Well, look at the sensors on this Nikon are
Although, if you're filming
beautiful.
a film, you're not filming start to finish. You're obviously filming scenes with take after take after take, and usually most scenes aren't longer than 40 minutes. So
Well,
I don't know why they even have that restriction. It's weird.
well, Mike, play
So,
for us some more, please.
Oh, Beans, could you take me off screen temporarily? I need to step
Okay.
away just a moment.
Not a problem. There we go.
well, I was going to say, yeah, I'll play a little more, and since I'm going to be on tonight, unless anybody has any last minute questions, probably a good time to wrap up here in a few minutes. But lastly, though, before I play, so the hardest part about a cigar box sitar because you notice the sitar typically sits off to the side, and most of the Indian players you see that play them are sitting cross-legged. Although I have seen a few older ones sitting on like a bench. Yeah, that's what I have, a piano bench. And so this, and as I've been playing tonight, I'm holding it down with my arm, which can get rather tiring. I'm trying to figure out, here's my conundrum. And I have an insulator buddy that helped me out a little bit here, but I haven't attached anything permanently because I don't know, it kind of takes away from the look of it. So I have a few different things, but he made me this thing that will fit real nice right here.
Ooh.
And will sit pretty nice. I still have to hold it down a little bit, but it's obviously not going to stay on its own. And I don't know if I could hold it where you can see it.
I thought the pillow
it kind of takes away, that's how it's going to look if I glue it on.
Oh no, don't glue it on. You'll take some resonance. Take off some resonance.
Well, I don't know about the resonance part, but I was talking about the looks of it.
Oh.
It looks a little weird.
Well, I thought that you using a pillow looked more authentic. But that was just that's just me.
Well,
I mean, I don't know anything about
Well, I need to get a smaller pillow though. This is kind of big, and it comes up pretty well. There we go. Yeah, that's the only thing. And while I greatly appreciated his help on that, because I actually had a little piece of cardboard and he cut that out for me, but yeah, you'd have to glue it on, and it won't stay on just sitting on there. You'd have to glue it on, and that would make it really hard. So anyway, I guess I'll stick with the
maybe
pillow.
Get a nice performance pillow.
Well, yeah, there you go. So let me get my finger attached, and then we'll.
Yeah, it's
anybody,
very.
No last minute questions out there, folks.
Oh, there's some comments. Yeah, Scott, it is a very big instrument. Mike built a monster there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, I did. Oh, thank God. Sounds like we're still in tune.
Cool beans.
I can get this comfortably on my finger. I don't know what.
Do you think you would be more comfortable if you were cross-legged on the floor?
No, not me.
Oh.
Not with my back. My back and knees. Yeah, knees, and guys like Ravi Shankar, and well, of course he's passed now, but those guys sit for hours like that. They do whole concerts like that.
But I'm wondering if they get the proper positioning to play the instrument because they're sitting on the floor. I don't know. I don't know anything about sitar.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can do it on a bench. I mean, I've seen a couple videos where older guys that probably have bad backs and bad knees like me. Yeah, you have to accommodate. But I mean, yeah, this is the proper position. It's off to the side. It might be a little bit. My other one is, that's why I was trying to do with that insulation, was raise it up about there. But I can play this. It's comfortable.
Okay.
If I get my. Okay, well, if there's no more, of course, I'll be on Earworms tonight, folks, at 7 o'clock. So
join us in the after party, folks. Earworms, 7 o'clock, and Mike will be back with his sitar and dutar and gongora.
Yeah, we'll be talking about dutars and all kinds of other things. And I might have a new flute I want to show off.
Ooh.
So, yes.
Cool beans.
We'll whip that in there as well. All right. So hopefully now everybody's excited and can't wait till 7 o'clock. But this has been great. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone who's tuned in. And let me, some of you may have, if you tuned in late, may not have actually even heard this yet. So here we go. try to play something maybe a little different here.
Mike, awesome. What happened
Yeah.
to your finger there? What was going on there?
Well, this is my usual one I use, and I don't know, for some reason it was not fitting comfortably, so I put this one on, and there's a bit of wire down there.
Ooh.
So I caught the wire a couple times, which makes that god awful bang, loud. Now I can't do it deliberately. I don't know, but it catches. So sorry, whoops.
Well, you made the performance work.
Well, yeah, it was all I truly was making that up. I have no idea what the scale was or anything.
It sounded really good, especially when you grabbed those minor mode notes. Oh my God, they sound good on that.
Yeah. I was doing some half steps there, but yeah. The most amazing guy is taking lessons off Gabriel. He that guy can listen to anything and tell you what the scale is. And sometimes I kind of consider, that's a gift in and of itself, but I kind of consider it a gift that sometimes I can just improvise on stuff and I have no idea cognizantly, I could stop and figure it out, but I don't know what I'm actually playing in at the moment that I'm playing it.
That's okay.
And other times I do. It just depends.
Well, Mike, what a fantastic sounding instrument. What a fantastic project. And thank you so much for you sharing it here first on my show. So
absolutely.
Really appreciate having the exclusive. So
yeah, Yeah, yeah. And for those that missed the build video of it, I will try to get that up in between shows here.
All right. So yeah. So please,
Of course, I'm sure you'll have the rerun of this too, so they
yeah,
can watch
this
it there
this
too.
this stream is gonna stay up for anyone who missed the beginning, but you can also navigate to Mike's channel and watch the upload where he features the build of this instrument.
Yeah, I think
So,
I have a playlist called Handmade or something like that. It'll be
so
under.
yes, please go to the video description
And
box, click on Mike's channel, sub, and check out his work, folks.
there is a playlist for sitar videos as well. If you want to see me playing my other sitar, I think there's 6 videos in there.
All right.
So,
Oh, I'm back. All right.
eventually I'll have one of this one.
All right. Well, Mike, we look forward to seeing more work, more music with you and your DIY tobacco sitar.
Yeah.
It is a cool thing, my friend. I mean, oh,
The MG special.
it is gorgeous, my friend.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. It's not for sale. No.
Not for sale. Wait, that's a question. If anybody contacts you about building them one, would you be open to that? He's like,
Possibly, maybe.
possibly, maybe. For lots of money,
I mean,
maybe.
this is probably the best thing I've ever built. And I mean, there are a couple, you know, and I tell you, the hardest part, and I don't know, you might have saw some of them move. There's some of them I've knocked loose. It is very hard. People who have the skill of tying frets on, man, that's an art. That is really tough. So I probably have 3 or 4 of them I need to take off and try to tighten them down again. Because, yeah, there was one, that one, yeah. See, that one's bent over. So, but it is what it is.
Do you think they would hold better with nylon rather than with the
Yeah, I paid, what did I pay? I don't know, $9, something like that, for some that I probably would have been able to tie 3 or 4 frets on, and it's a pain in the butt. And people do it with nylon. Man, nylon is, I find, not that very hard.
Oh.
So I ended up just using regular string. I watched some videos on fret tying, and I don't know, I couldn't figure it out. I ended up just doing my own thing.
Well, it worked. Whatever you did, it worked.
It worked adequately, but there are some loose ones. So, and I don't know, none. Yeah, some of them are pretty tight, but they could be tighter. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But they're holding, and it's playing, and I'm happy. So
it worked.
I mean, if I was to make something for someone, I would want it to be.
You being the perfectionist, yes, I know, but
yeah, that's my hard part. Is I'm such a damn perfectionist.
Well, I mean, that is what an amazing I look at it and I'm still gobsmacked. It's like, whew.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what the cost would be, because I mean, I had the bridge and the frets and these pieces, so
yeah,
I don't know what the cost of building one.
The strings, you definitely should cost it out, because I am guessing that someone is going to reach out to you and request a build. So you should cost it out, and
well,
see.
They better be patient. I mean, I started this. What did the video say? Early July, first week of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that thing is worth waiting
I got work,
for.
and I got other things going on, so it was one of those where, well, I guess I'll have to wait, and I had to order, things. So
it's definitely something worth waiting for, though. It's
oh yeah.
It's a novelty, but it sounds great, and it's more than playable. And yeah, people gonna want that. So
Yeah.
cool beans. Alrighty, folks. So join us, and Mike will be on Earworms later this evening. So please join us on Lawrence's channel, The Wayfair Project, at 7. Is it 7? 7:30?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. And yeah, Mike will bring back his cigar box sitar, and he'll be talking dutar and dumbra as well. So
Yeah,
join
man,
us later.
I'm already set up.
We're ready to go. Alrighty,
Yeah.
folks. Oh man, Mike, I wish we could have. I wish I would have stopped and to read the chat, because you got so much praise here. You've inspired so many people. Is just a crazy, fantastic project, and yeah, thank you for coming on
Well,
and
thank you,
sharing.
everyone.
So, alrighty, folks. So
I appreciate the comments. I saw a couple when I picked up my phone, but yeah, it's hard to follow. And
yeah, you'll be able to catch some of the chat on the replay, I guess, Mike.
yeah, I'll try to look later. And
All
yep.
right. Alrighty, folks. So I'm gonna let you go with the Diddley Bow. Have a great evening, folks. Chaito.